And initial thoughts, this sounds huge if there are POIs called like Stadium inside of it, and train station, and cruise terminal, and university
museums.
So I'm wondering, massive Resurgence has been very popular lately. I wonder if Vondel is going to be like a permanent massive Resurgence mode, where instead of like 50 player lobbies, we're getting like 80, and it's a larger map with more players, but it's still just only going to be Resurgence. For ad-free episodes, as well as early access and bonus episodes, check out our Patreon. Free trials are available.
Activision devs do not play their own game.
3,000 devs can't figure out how to add a reconnect feature to a AAA title, I guess. I don't know.
Because Infinity Ward doesn't tell their consumers anything.
Maybe that'll take some of the sweats away from Shoot House.
You can cope about that, for sure.
Thanks for tweeting, at least. Thanks for doing more than Infinity Ward has done. They just keep tweeting about the soccer bundles in the store.
Things that are bad. We've got a couple words. Why don't you kick it off, Tanner?
This is going to be a longer section than the first part you guys heard.
Change it, obviously, of course. I'm working on it, okay? And there's not much I can do other than not adjust the mic. I don't know how many software fucking solutions there could be to make it so you don't hear when I move my mic. I think it just is going to make noise if I move it. So I need to just You could
try holding on the mute button on your Go XLR. That's what I always do when I try to move my mic. Like right now, I'm going to press the little mute button and then I move it around. Just because mine's real close, I have it close on purpose for that reason.
I know mine's too far. I have to like sit up to do it, and then at that point, I'll just fucking end my own life. Anyway, we are live. Welcome, boys and girls, to the Dropshot Call of Duty podcast, episode number 331. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. What does that say on your shirt, Tanner?
Save kittens.
Save kittens sweatshirt, huh?
Yeah,
Where did you get that?
I'm
why,
not kidding.
obviously?
I was cleaning out my closet last weekend, about a week ago, getting rid of old clothes, and I saw this, and I was like, I don't know what this is. And I asked Sierra, I was like, what the fuck is this? She's like, I don't know. She's like, I must have got it somewhere like a long time ago. And I was like, huh. And I put it on, and it's like thin and very soft inside. So
Like
it's comfortable, but it's the softest sweatshirt I have on the inside. It's very smooth, soft on my little tiny baby skin. So I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll wear it. I don't care. So yeah, pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, it's a basic black hoodie.
Yeah, it
with
is.
text
Yeah,
on it.
thin.
I like
thin and soft. It's nice.
That's the SoCal classic. We've talked about this.
Yeah,
and you said
it's
you
not
don't like
that
them
thin.
typically.
You're thinking of, I think, a different level of thinness.
This
isn't that thin.
Yeah.
Because I know what you're talking about. That's almost like a t-shirt with a hoodie on it. This isn't like that. This is still a sweatshirt, but thinner than all my other ones.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. We'll take those. Anyways, welcome to the show today. Speaking of kittens, by the way, just like on TikTok, because my TikTok is mostly small animals now these days. A lot of kittens, a lot of puppies. And I feel it's very weird. Tell me if I'm wrong, but kittens just be dying more than puppies. Like a lot more. Based on what you've told me and what I've seen on TikTok, kittens just love to die, just to not live. But puppies,
I'm not sure
about it.
I don't know why that is. I don't know anything about like puppies really. I don't know if it's because I guess it wouldn't be because they're bigger. They're still young. I don't know. Maybe they do. When dogs have puppies, do they usually have less puppies than the amount of kittens that are born? Because kittens could have you could have fucking 8 kittens, 6 kittens is like common for a litter. That's not.
I think that's
added. So maybe it could be that too. So it's like if one dies, it's not. It's like, oh, whatever. I got 5 more. Still doing pretty good.
Right.
Still got a pretty good grade.
Like a lizard. Yeah. You just lay a million eggs. You don't care how many die. Yeah. I think that is part of what's going on. Because I'm pretty sure puppy litters are smaller or fewer than kitten litters. But if any veterinarians are in the chat, let us know. Anyways, welcome to the show. Today, we are not talking about kittens or puppies. Shout out to kittens and puppies, though. We are talking instead about Call of Duty. And luckily, interestingly, we have some pretty exciting things to talk about today. First of all, we got some weapon balancing some middling weapon balancing, frankly. We'll get into it. But a lot of it, or the big thing, of course, is the nerf to the Squall. We'll get into the details on that because Infinity Ward didn't. And that is not surprising at all. A couple other little weapon changes that were very surprising to me also, though. And in addition to that, we've got some more drama, of course. We're going to slowly transition this to just Keemstar's drama alert, by the way. That's what we're going to do. We're going to be Codma alert. Anyway, some of that. And then the big news item, of course, of the week is a confirmed new Resurgence map that we're getting very fucking soon. Way sooner than I certainly anticipated. I think
it's coming. Yeah. We're about to bust.
We'll get into the details on that when we start talking about it. But this frankly took me by surprise, and maybe it shouldn't have based on leaks we've heard. I don't remember exactly, but regardless, we'll get into all of that momentarily. First, we have a couple of announcements, of course, welcoming our brand new singular patron for the week. Luckily, it's Damascus. That'll keep me alive. Hunter F, a new Damascus patron. Hunter, welcome aboard, buddy. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. At the Damascus tier, of course, which is the best tier to join at, unless Obsidian has slots, which it doesn't right now.
Yeah, it's been full for pretty much since we opened it to 5 people.
Yeah, that thing
I think there hasn't been a month where it's been open. Yeah,
there are only a very select few, the privileged, the proud, the Obsidian patrons, who can be in that category. So if you wanted to get scammed even more, just donate $30 every month on top, I guess. But anyways, Hunter joined at Damascus. By the way, Hunter, you DM'd us on Patreon. I didn't reply. And stay mad, but you asked when the hangouts are. It varies month to month. You'll know when the next hangout is. We put it in the Discord, in the events tab on the week of. We'll announce it on the week of on the podcast, and that is how you will know. But we don't do like every 20th at this time or whatever. So we don't know when the next one is yet, but it will be. I'll give you a hint. It'll be in June. So we'll keep you posted, buddy. But yeah, I know you want to come to the hangouts, and now you can. So welcome. Very much appreciated. Thank you. Speaking of the Patreon, we have a couple other Patreon announcements. First of all, our last Patreon ep for the beautiful month of May is now live. It went live yesterday. And it was all about Ashika Island, which is kosher because it's about Resurgence. And by the way, just in case you guys were wondering, the last time I played Resurgence, I played 6 games and I won all of them in a row, by the way. And also, Tindersaw was finally bullied into joining the Discord. So welcome to you, Tindersaw. Don't know what's going on with the profile picture because it's of a small Asian woman, I think. And you did not sound like a small Asian woman in VoIP. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Pretty bizarre. But you joined the Discord finally, so
it was porn too star, late, yeah.
But welcome also. And I did win my last 6 games in a row of Resurgence, Ashika quads, hashtag demon time. But in the Patreon episode, we talked about that. It's 90 minutes of me saying the last time I played Ashika, I won 6 games in a row. That's the whole episode. In fact, that's a joke.
Yeah, you're gonna hold on that one for a while, yeah.
Oh, I'm never playing Ashika again, so that I can continue to say the last 6 games I played, I won in a row.
Yeah.
But
maybe you'll win your first 6 of Vondel when that releases.
That's possible.
Me, you, Jake, and Tindersaw can get back together, try to do 6 in a row. Yeah.
Run the island or whatever it is. We'll get into it.
Run the city. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, our last Patreon episode is now live. That's live for all patrons, and it was just an episode on Ashika. Pretty loose, but a fun time. We got into a lot of specifics on a lot of kind of random shit, but it was all just surrounding and related to Ashika Island. One thing that occurred to me when we were writing notes for the episode, actually, is that episode was the first time we had talked really about Ashika Island since Season 3 Reloaded, which of course includes the perk packages. So there was actually quite a bit to get into that was new and relevant, and I thought it went well and was productive. What were your thoughts on that, Ep?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I've been playing a lot of Resurgence, so just a lot of, like, I don't know, different thoughts we had. It wasn't a brainstorm. It was kind of just, I don't know, thoughts, just talking about the game. Oh, I think also the biggest thing was we had not talked much about, if at all, lootable perks on Ashika and how that changed the game, changed the flow of everything when it comes to, like, getting a loadout, buying a loadout. So we heavily talked about that as well. That was, like, the biggest thing probably. So
yeah, I think that was the biggest thing for sure. But there was a lot more in there. So if you're a patron at all tiers, you can go listen to that. As a reminder for the Patreon, we do 5 bonus episodes a month. 3 of them are gold episodes, meaning they're available to every patron. And those 3 are all of the, like, Call of Duty focused ones. And then if you wanted extra content that's more related to Tanner and I, that's what Platinum and Damascus are for. Platinum, you get an extra bonus episode that is a Q&A episode where you guys ask questions and you guys get the answers. And that's locked for Platinum up. And some of that becomes about COD. A lot of it doesn't, because it depends on what you guys ask us. So you guys ask us questions about COD sometimes, and then sometimes you don't. And then Damascus is behind the scenes episodes. So if you're, I don't know, if you're into the, you know, behind the scenes of the show, what Tanner and I are doing in our real lives, and also the business side and the, like, content creator side. If you're, like, an aspiring content creator, I think there's some good info in those episodes, particularly pitfalls to avoid and things to not do, and things to do, of course. So that's how that works. But yeah, anything COD related on the Patreon, that's all available for gold, which is our $5 a month. It's cheap. So keep that in mind if you want more content and you don't really give a fuck about us, you just want the COD shit, join gold. That's why it's our cheapest one. It's there just for you. And now, more than ever, boy, is it a great time to join, because Patreon emailed us recently and they said Patreon free trials are now available. So we looked into it, looked at the details, as they say in the United Kingdom, which we love now, by the way. Shout out to Sports Social. Listen to Behind the Scenes if you want more info on that. And we decided to enable free trials for our Patreon. How does that work? Here's how it works, okay? Go to patreon.com/thedropshot. If you've been a patron before, get fucked. If you haven't, you can join at gold or platinum, you pick, for a free trial, and you will get 7 full-ass days of full access of that tier for a week. So if you sign up for a free trial of platinum, you can immediately listen to every single platinum level episode we've ever recorded. So right away, you get the whole back catalog. We don't lock old episodes. I know some people do that. I don't think we ever will. I actually don't know how that can be done on Patreon. I'm sure you could, but we don't do it. So if you wanted to join up for a free trial, 7 days, you get instant access to everything. And then if you feel like it's worth it for you, then you're all set. And then after 7 days, you get fucking billed, and then you're in the web, you're in the net. You've been captured, as it were.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who have been kind of on the fence about the Patreon, I know we've been pushing it a lot lately, and you want to see what you're getting into, Part of the reason we've done Patreon Gone Public episodes is for that reason, to kind of give everyone a little taste of what to expect. Because the episodes are quite different than what we do on the public feed, just by virtue of the fact that they're, you know, behind the paywall and there's no live audience or anything. So if you, I don't know, wanted to get a taste, see what the hubbub's all about, you can join for a free trial. And good for Platinum as well, because if you wanted to see the caliber of the Q&A questions we get and our answers, you can go listen to those as well. So those free trials are now available. Now keep in mind, this is going to be for the month of June only. So if you've been curious, start the free trial this month, because after June, there will no longer be free trials. We may or may not bring them back later, but it wouldn't be in July. Might not even be in August either. So we're going to allow free trials for the month of June only, as far as everyone is concerned. We may end up bringing them back way later, but if you've been curious about the Patreon, and you're welcome, of course, now's the time to sign up. So, yeah, keep that in mind. And speaking of free trial patrons, we've gotten some free trial patrons before we even announced it. So these people just checking in. They said, oh, fuck it. It's free as fuck. Sure.
Yeah.
You can just scam us. I mean, sign up for a free trial. Listen to every episode we've ever done in 7 days. It's going to be hard, by the way. We've done a lot of bonus episodes. I think we've crossed 150 now or something. We've done a lot.
Yeah, I think we're like 120.
And that's what I said. So it's still going to be a lot of work for you, but you could do it, and then you could just cancel, and then you'll never get billed. Pretty easy. So anyways, for you industrious fellas, shout out to you. Welcome, to our new free trial patrons, Marcario and change it, and Cam. Now you don't get an air horn, you don't get a bell, you don't get any fucking soundboard, because you're a freeloading piece of shit so far, aren't you?
Yeah, you get nothing.
You get nothing other than this.
That's cool. We'll see if you stick around.
So Marcario, change it, and Cam, that's cool that you're free trial patrons, and we'll see what happens. That's what you get. So thanks for maybe thanks for ending up becoming a patron. That's the announcement. That's the shout out you deserve, frankly.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. But yeah, free trials available. Oh, and we won't be doing Damascus free trials ever. If you want to listen to behind the scenes shit, you're going to have to fucking dive in. We get a little wild behind the scenes sometimes. You have to open up that wallet. Yeah, I'm not removing the paywall on Damascus. Cause we go on tirades, and I'm overselling it, obviously.
Yeah. But I wonder if the platinum's not a good idea either, because the Q&As.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get, the higher patron tier episode we're doing, the more candid we are likely to be. Not that we're secretly fucking racist or something. That's not what I mean. But we talk shit about basically people more. That's basically what it is. We're not trying to start beef with other content creators or anything. But, for a Damascus episode, most of those people already know whom we like and don't like anyway. So that's more what I'm talking about. So anyway, free trials available. Check it out. If you're listening for the jingle, here it is. Vengeance, yes, you can listen to Patreon episodes on mobile. It gives you an RSS feed, and you just plug that into whatever app you use, and then you can listen to bonus episodes in the exact same way you listen to Joe Rogan. So, yeah. And there's a guide on how to do that exactly in our Discord with pictures. So just go to Discord, go to new patron onboarding, and then there's a step-by-step guide with pictures on how to do exactly that. Or you could use like Patreon's own resources, but I've linked Patreon's own resources as well. I did it this Monday, actually, in our Discord. So it's very easy. Yeah, it's very easy, and it's very convenient. And then you'll have that separate feed. So anyway, welcome, boys and girls. Episode 331. First things first. Patch notes, changes already in effect. We did get a patch yesterday that was fairly consequential and not very surprising. So only one patch this week. However, it is the moment that many of us have all been waiting for. So let me just restart OBS because computers are dog shit, so that I can actually pull this up. I mean, it's just miserable, man.
Yeah, don't ever buy a PC.
Yeah. I'm actually, I was thinking of getting a new computer, but I'm actually just going to get a console. I'm going to buy an Xbox 360 or whatever kids use anyway. All right,
stream from the PC and game on there.
Yeah, Season 3 Reloaded patch notes, Wednesday, May 31st. So this was yesterday. A couple little changes here. So weapon adjustments. Assault rifles. Hemlock was changed. Okay, interesting. Curious what they did to it, because it's already not great.
It's already not great, yeah.
Or it was already not great. Reduce damage to armor using all 5.56 ammo. Warzone only. So 5.56 ammo, the reason they stipulate that is because there's also 300 blackout rounds that no one uses. So in other words, the Hemlock has had its armor damage reduced for every setup anyone was ever using. So it just got nerfed. Now, why did they do that? No singular solitary idea. Because that gun was like barely usable before this, and now I just refuse to.
But barely usable,
using it.
But by far the most used AR, like far and away the most used AR.
Yeah, because there's no recoil.
Oh, that's right. You can't look at stats. I thought some website had stats to see the pick rate still of guns, but I guess not, because that's all included in the API.
I missed that website.
It's warzonerank.com, yeah, and I'm on it right now, and when you go to their stats, it says API is currently unavailable for Warzone 2, so you can't look at it.
IDub, yeah.
Like, I would say the pick rate for the Hemlock...
I see it all the time still.
I mean, at least minimum 50% of the player base. If they're using a main gun, it's a Hemlock. I don't know, man. It is... I frankly, I don't get it. Like, I very rarely die to Cronens on Ashika. Like, ranked and like the top streamers that you're watching and you guys follow, they all use it because they have a brain. But I can't believe every single lobby is just like 90% Hemlocks. I don't understand it at all.
I mean, I understand it. You were the one to point this out during MW19. It's Kilo syndrome. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. You feel like you're doing something when you're shooting someone 50 meters away and you're landing every single bullet. You feel like, wow, this gun's really good. Yeah. Because all your dopamine receptors are just fucking flying off the charts. Because you're getting all the hit markers, you're getting the little the BB gun sounds in your stupid fucking earphones, or more likely your TV speakers, actually, if you're using a Hemlock. And therefore, you think it's good because you are not missing any shots. But the problem is, of course, that your time to kill, even though you're landing every shot, is way worse than if you were using a Cronen and missing 2 bullets per person. Like, actually, at this point, probably. So, yeah, the Hemlock is... it's, I would say, unusable now. There are so many better options for Maz and Ashika that you should never use a Hemlock for Warzone again. Maybe Ground War or like, which no one plays, so I don't know who I'm talking to. Or, multiplayer, I guess, maybe. It's nice. But even then, multiplayer maps are too small for me to need a gun whose only advantage is no recoil.
I think there, I guess, is a case for it to be used on El Mazrah, but I don't know why you're using it on Ashika. I really don't. Like, sure, it doesn't have recoil, but the fights you're taking on Ashika, what is a long range fight on that map? 50, 60 meters, maybe?
Maybe.
I mean, and then there's so many places to mount on Ashika too, because there are buildings and walls everywhere. You're not just always out in the open like Maz. Yeah. You're not taking unmounted 150 meter gunfights like on Maz. You're mounting up and beaming people at like 40 meters usually. So just use the fastest killing gun. Or don't, I guess. I don't care. I don't want the Cronen nerfed. You guys can continue to get fucking beamed by me, right? So go ahead, actually. Continue to use the Hemlock, please.
Yeah.
Make my lobbies easier.
Yeah. More pigs for the slaughter, as they say. So
that's
anyway,
what they say.
yeah. F's in the chat for the Hemlock, I guess. And now the Cronen Squall. This is what we've all been waiting for.
Gutted, right?
This is what we were expecting. Now, yeah, I will start by saying I expected this gun to get fucking destroyed, which I did not want. I wanted it to be nerfed a lot in semi-auto and nerfed somewhat probably in full auto. That's what I was hoping for. It's not what I was expecting. Let's see what we actually got. Cronen Squall, reduced damage range. That's not that big of a deal at all. For, as we've always said, for primary AR guns. By the way, this is in the AR category, and it's a battle rifle, so good job, I did. Your damage range doesn't matter that much.
Oh, yeah, it is. That's
for
funny.
Maz. On Ashika Island, reduced damage range actually matters more. But like on Al Mazrah, most of the time you're going to be shooting people with your AR at your furthest damage range regardless. So whether that's 30 meters or 25, if you're shooting everyone at 40, then it doesn't matter either way. So not a big deal so far. Reduced headshot multiplier. Okay, potentially a huge deal. They didn't tell us how much they reduced it by, so but we do have a couple more details on that. We'll get into that in a moment. Small increase to recoil in semi-auto mode. Okay, so not what I would have done, but okay, sure. Small reduction to rate of fire in semi-auto mode. So you can't fire as quickly anymore in semi-auto. That is fairly sensible. There were a lot of ways to nerf the Squall semi-auto. That would be one that maybe I would accept, but I don't love it. I think there are better things they could do. But anyway, reduced maximum damage per shot against armor. So that's probably the big nerf. Again, we're going to get into more details because CallOfDuty.com, the game that makes the fucking game, doesn't give us any details on what any of these values have changed to or by. So we're going to get into that in a moment. But this is the big nerf potentially. Reduced max damage per shot against armor. If you will recall, before this change, it was possible to do 100 headshot damage if you had your Squall and semi-auto on someone in Warzone. And that is probably primarily the reason that gun was so disgusting. But if they cap the damage against someone with armor on, then you can't do 100 headshot damage anymore unless they don't have plates, in which case you're going to win that gunfight even if you're using a Hemlock. So we do have more details on this I saw in our notes. Where did we get these from, Tanner?
Yeah, so these are images from Warzone Loadout, but he just took them from sim.gg and made his own image. So it's basically courtesy of sim.gg. So I guess we'll cover the Hemlock first, actually, so we talked about that one first. So the Hemlock doesn't sound like that substantial, right? But this gun actually got nerfed really hard. So before, average time to kill in its first damage range up to 34 meters was 720 milliseconds. The Hemlock is now 887. 150 milliseconds slower in its first damage range. Just from that one line they put in the patch notes of reduced damage to armor. That's what that means. That's why this means nothing to us without values, as we keep saying.
Yes.
Cronen gets 8 lines of nerfs, and it gets nerfed substantially less, we'll get to in a second. And Hemlock gets 1 line in the patch notes, and it basically is gutted. So that continues. That's a trend. Oh, they added another... oh, wait, no, they didn't. I was thinking of something else. Sorry. So yeah, 150 milliseconds slower in its max damage range, and its furthest damage range, like, 70 to 100 meters, used to be 1,050 milliseconds. Now it's 1,160.
Which is one Mississippi plus, by the way.
Yeah.
That's more than an entire Mississippi to kill someone if you're hitting every single bullet.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically at old damage ranges, it was nerfed by 100 to 150 milliseconds on the time to kill. And that is very substantial.
Keep in mind that a good TTK on an SMG is something like, what, 500 milliseconds? 300
An SMG?
milliseconds? Yeah.
Now, probably 550 to 600 is really good.
Yeah, 500 is like where we're getting a little OP for SMG
OP,
time to kill. So 150 milliseconds is the difference between a really good SMG and a dog shit one. So this is a substantial nerf to an already slow killing gun. Again, on Moz, which is where you would probably be tempted to use a Hemlock, before it took 1,051 milliseconds. In other words, 1 Mississippi plus 51 milliseconds to kill someone. Now it's 1 Mississippi plus 159 milliseconds. The gun is unusable. Yeah, completely gutted. So shout out to Sim GG. But more importantly, what we're more interested in, the Cronen Squall. So before, this had a time to kill up to 42 meters of 547 milliseconds. They brought that first damage range in, as they said, and now it's 575 milliseconds. So the difference there is what, 28 milliseconds? Still killing virtually just as fast. Do you know if this is full or semi-auto?
This is full, yeah.
Full auto, okay.
Because the semi-auto ones, it's hard to test because at least pulling the data, because of the time between shots, it's like weird.
With the
it
open
never
bolt
shows up
delay
correctly.
and shit.
Yeah.
So its first damage range got brought in by 3 meters, which I don't think is that big of a deal. And it kills very similar in terms of TTK. 28 milliseconds, not that big of a difference. At its second damage range, it now has an average time to kill of 2 milliseconds slower. That is like less than a frame, so that didn't change virtually at all.
No,
and then
you would never
at its
tell.
longest damage range, which is the most important, arguably, value for Al Mazrah in terms of your primary AR, the time to kill went from 713 to 717 milliseconds. In other words, on average, the Cronen Squall in full auto is going to feel virtually identical to how it felt before these changes, with the additional caveat that the headshot multiplier is now reduced. So there were probably times, if you've been using a Squall in full auto, where you really fucked some kid's day up and he just instantly got deleted and you're like, wow, that was really fast. That's probably because you sprinkled in a few headshots. Instances of that happening are probably going to be less common now, but
yes,
it's still going to be a very good, solid, competitive gun. And keep in mind, they didn't touch the recoil for the Cronen in full auto. So based on what we've been seeing on Twitch, the Purple website, most people for like ranked are still using the Squall. They're just using it in full auto now, because the semi-auto nerfs were a lot more substantial than the full auto ones. And like Tanner's been saying since we started talking about this, the Cronen Squall in full auto is a very competitive gun. The only reason people weren't using it is because it was just better in semi-auto. But now that's not true anymore, and it looks like the Cronen Squall in full auto is the new meta. And it's arguably a balanced gun. Maybe not, but it's pretty close to being balanced. It reminds me of an AMAX or maybe even an EM2. I would say it's closer to an AMAX, meaning it has more recoil than the average assault rifle, but it also has a faster time to kill. So,
yeah, I honestly,
on this?
It probably still needs a nerf. I think that time to kill, like in that first range, that's like 575 now. I think that needs to probably be more around like 600. But I don't know. It's It's still not nearly as difficult as using a EM2 was in Warzone 1 after that received some nerfs. It's still a lot easier to use than that. It still doesn't have very much recoil. It's just like the Hemlock basically doesn't move for the build that most people use. Like, you can shoot at a wall at 50 meters and the bullets almost all hit the same spot, whereas the Cronen is not the case at all. It goes up to the left quite a bit, so you do have to control the recoil more. But yeah, I mean, people just aren't using it in pubs from my experience. So it's actually pretty mind-blowing that the Hemlock got nerfed way harder, but it's obvious to me they have the data. They can see that the Hemlock is by far the most used gun in the game. Sure, again, we see all the streamers using the Cronen. They are the very small minority of the player base. Yeah. I played Ashika for hours yesterday. I don't know if I died to the Cronen. I'm not kidding. It's like all Hemlocks. So, you know, they see a bunch of people using them. So that's probably, they're like, okay, we want to make a new gun meta. I guess we just nerf this.
Since everyone's using it. Yeah.
Because they've been doing other things. People try to push the Lockman 5.56, other guns, and they just don't switch off the Hemlock. So they're probably at the point now where they're just like, all right, well, we want a different meta gun, so we're just nerfing this even more because people continue to use it, and people are still using it. So I don't know. It's probably soon going to have a 1 second time to kill at close range, because I mean it's almost there already. So yeah, pretty fucking crazy that anyone's still using it, especially on Ashika. I mean, again, up to 40 meters, the Cronen kills, I'm not exaggerating, 300 milliseconds faster than a Hemlock. Crazy. Why would you use it? I don't understand. That's max damage range. It's like 400 milliseconds. So there is just, I mean, if you guys think it's easy to control and, you know, whatever, you really can't control the Cronen, okay. I find that hard to believe, though. It's not that much harder to use. Put some, you know, pull down on your thumb a little bit, and it's pretty easy to use. Again, mount up too. Mount as much as you can. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm fine with it because I love using the Cronen. So the biggest difference for me, most gunfights feel exactly the same, but the headshot multiplier difference, that is what you do notice.
Yeah.
You still win every single gunfight because everyone's using the Kilo, of course, the Hemlock.
The Kilo, yeah.
But you notice you kill in like 1 or 2 bullets less, it feels like, if you're mixing in headshots. Whereas like before in close range, if I had like one plate on and some guy's fully plated, you could win gunfights by hitting headshots on that guy, like rather easily, actually. And that's just not the case anymore. That won't get you out of those situations, I don't think. I'm looking at Sim right now. They're showing the headshot damage is 44. True game data has not been updated, and the headshot damage was 56. So it looks like it went from 56 down to 44 for headshot damage. So, and neck and chest, by the way, is 40. So there's no reason to ever aim for the head at all, pretty much, like there was before, because that's not going to make that big of a difference by the time you get up there when you're hitting all your shots. So
just let it happen kind of naturally. If it does.
Cronen's still really, really good. Hemlock went from the most average AR to a lot worse. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So overall, I will say this. If the semi-auto Cronen is no longer as viable as it is in full auto, that's great. That's exactly what I wanted. And they did not gut the Squall in full auto, which I'm very surprised by, but I am pleased with it. I would venture to say they didn't go quite far enough. I think the full auto Cronen probably still needs to be nerfed a bit more, but I would much prefer they make incremental changes like this to get it to where it should be, then just go overboard and have a complete fucking hack job like I expected them to. So I'll take it. Infinity Ward should trademark this phrase. This is a step in the right direction as far as the Cronen is concerned. So that's good. I'll take it. But yeah, I wish they didn't touch the Hemlock or they buffed it. I mean, this is crazy. But anyway, moving on back to the notes here. Not really much else. A couple global bug fixes. Let's see.
What else? I didn't really read through
Ranked play fixed an issue that allowed matches to cancel later than intended. So if you ever had that happen, I've never had that happen, but there you go. BR General, the competitive rule set for private matches, has been updated to match the most current version of Warzone ranked play. That's good, I guess. Deployment fees are now displayed in the pregame lobby. That's a nice little quality of life change there for ranked. Let's see. Fixed an issue where SR for the final kill was not being awarded. That's very good, because that's a lot of SR. It's 15 SR.
It is, yeah.
So that's a big deal. So that's good. Let's see here. Fixed an issue that allowed players to enter into a match as an incomplete squad once the countdown timer had begun. And then that is pretty much it. DMZ, a couple bug fixes, and that's all there. So yeah, pretty small patch, but you know, the main thing was the Cronen that needed to be addressed, and I'm happy to see it, all things considered. So
yeah.
Moving on here, a couple other notes. Infinity Ward, by popular demand, Trophy Hunt is back for the rest of Season 3. What the fuck is that, you might be wondering? This is the goofy event where you like get kills and you pick up trophies, and then you spend those little trophies on a screen in your main menu, as if there weren't enough already, by the way, on blueprints and stickers and dog tags or whatever the fuck cosmetic dog shit there is there. I don't care about this. I think this is kind of cool, actually. I didn't get all the rewards yet, so I'll take it. And the trophies are not nearly as burdensome as they were in Caldera, so that's back.
Yeah, they're just, they block the loot
3.
because there's coins everywhere, but it's, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but I don't know.
Yeah, let's be clear though. Back by popular demand. I mean, no one asked to have it back, but all right, if you wanted to add it back, that's weird. Fine. But don't say by popular demand. Just say you wanted to add it back. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on. The next big item, we've already talked about this, but now it's official. The TimtheTatMan and NICKMERCS operator bundles are now available in MW2 and Warzone 2. I don't have many. Okay, yeah. They don't cost COD points, or do they only cost real ass dollars? Do they cost COD points? Do you know?
These cost COD points, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
They are 2,400 COD points, if I'm not mistaken, which is like $19.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah. So you can, if you have some COD points already left over from when before pay-to-win operator skins for DMZ were added to the game, you are hereby allowed, without paying us a fee, to buy these operator bundles. So if you happen to have 5,000 COD points lying around, which I suspect you don't, by the way, congratulations. You can get a TimtheTatMan and or NICKMERCS operator skin bundle in the COD store. If you don't have enough COD points, get fucked, because you're not allowed to buy it. You're done buying microtransactions for this game. Since they made that change, I bought a couple COD points because I had to unlock a gun. I forget which one it was. But also, I'm a podcaster about the game, so I'm going to write it off as a business expense. I don't feel great about it, but I did it. I
fucking dare you.
So unless your full-time, unless your primary job is to make content about Call of Duty, you're not allowed to buy microtransactions or give Activision any money anymore. So just don't forget that. And if you do want to buy COD points to buy these operator skins, you owe us $20 per skin, obviously. So keep that in mind. But with that said, they're now out. TimtheTatMan and NICKMERCS have been obviously streaming Warzone with their little operator bundles. I think it's pretty cute. We've already talked about it, but I think it's cool. You know, NICKMERCS maybe not the best choice, but
I haven't seen a NICKMERCS one in game yet. I saw some Tim ones yesterday. I saw a bunch of clips of Tim skins, streamers using them. I still have yet to see a streamer that I've watched or in game anyone buying the Nick skins. So that's what happens when he leaves the game forever. I think Tim does, but I guess Vengeance is saying in chat NICKMERCS doesn't have a voice line. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, I forget Tim. What does Tim's character say? I also saw a screenshot too. I guess like if you shine the laser that comes on the blueprint of Tim's Lockman, I think it is, against a wall, it's like his logo. And I'm like, is this real? But it looked real, and I mean, weird. I don't know why someone would lie about that. So like the laser shows up as his little logo.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
That is cool.
But yeah, anyways, they're in the store. But yeah, if you want to buy them, that's cool. But PayPal is $20, dropshot.com, donation link.
Correct. Yes. It would be really cool to have an operator skin. That'd be really dope to have one ourselves. Maybe
Tim
we'll get them
says
next year.
stuff on his execution. Nick didn't have time to record voice lines.
That's a weird thing to say. He didn't have time, really. Okay.
They must not have paid him enough. He wanted more money.
Yeah. Well, either way, get
Peace
your bag,
and love, baby.
But yeah. All right. There we go. Anyway, not that much there, but yeah, it's out now. So now moving on to news and upcoming changes. We've got some exciting things to talk about here. First is this tweet that I guess Tanner wants to cover. So Tanner, why don't you take it away, buddy?
Yeah. Oh, are we done talking about DMZ or what? Basically, a bunch of people are mad again because Infinity Ward is doing another whole DMZ wipe. Not just a mission refresh. They are your contraband keys and mission inventories will be emptied. Insured weapon slots will be reset as we introduce new ways to unlock them, which is great, by the way. Because that's something we had talked about in our DMZ episode is like, you have to play so fucking long before you get the second insured slot anyways. Like, what's the point? I mean, you also, it just felt very weird how long it took to get them, when at the same time, it wasn't really that important because the timer was non-existent. So they're probably going to be a lot easier to just unlock more insured slots now. Actually, honestly, you can probably buy them, I bet. There's probably some bundle that comes with 3 insured weapon slots to start with or something. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So a whole DMZ reset again coming with Season 4 if you're still playing DMZ. I don't know if anyone that listens still is, but there we go.
I see, Lucci?
Yeah.
He is tweeting, and he's been tweeting lately. He's like, yeah, I'm done with ranked Warzone. I'm just going to keep playing DMZ. He's like an actual DMZ player.
Yeah.
This is like a content creator.
Because he's funny and clever and can make interesting videos like that, yeah.
Yeah. So I do wonder how many people are playing DMZ these days. But yeah, people are upset about another wipe coming, which is interesting. I would be... we were understanding when people were mad about the first wipe that happened. Because... especially like if you don't know what Tarkov is, then the concept doesn't even... like it hadn't even occurred to you that it was like a thing that any game like this does. And then they told you like a week before they wiped it, which wasn't great, obviously. So like I kind of understand that people were mad about that. But this wipe coming up, like you should have known by now they were going to wipe again. They said so. They said as much. I think they even said in Season 4 we're going to wipe again. They said we're not going to do it Season 3, but we're going to do it the season after. I'm pretty sure they said that. Either way, they definitely said it will be wiped at a time down the road, just not Season 3 or whatever. So yeah, if you're mad about this, I don't know what you're mad about. If you still haven't done all the missions or whatever the fuck, and you've been playing like every day, I mean, get fucked, I guess. I don't know. Be better. Play more. Quit your job. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah,
so the two biggest things I saw complaints it was for the insured weapon slots. So people were like, why, like you can reset the missions, but why do we lose our insured weapon slots? But it's like, it says right there are going to be new ways to introduce or unlock them. So probably easier to unlock earlier on, something like that. And then the other thing, I saw some guy, I don't remember who it was on Twitter, but it's some guy that's like decently sized. And he said something like, I don't like the fact they're wiping our inventories. I can see doing like a mission reset, but why do they wipe our inventories? And he said something about like, I have saved a bunch of like interesting weapon blueprints that I've gotten off people I've killed as like tokens. Like basically for himself to look at, like hanging a picture on a wall. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, imagine killing some guy in Tarkov with like an SR-25 with a fleur on top and being like, oh, I'm saving this in my inventory to literally look at forever and just never touching it or selling it. Like, what the fuck? That was weird. I'm like, what an insane thing to think. But yeah, anyway, so people are a little upset about this if they're doing a full wipe again.
Yeah, so anyway.
Super weird.
If anything, you should be excited for a wipe if you're a DMZ player. Get some new shit going on.
Yeah,
go through the new things again. But anyway, yeah, moving on.
Moving on, another tweet from Charlie Intel. This was a couple days yesterday, actually. Season 4 begins on June 14th and will include the new Warzone map Vondel, which is set in the Netherlands and is developed by Beanox per sources. Map will have Resurgence support to start. More info to come. Then he also goes on to say Vondel should also support DMZ at some point per sources. And I guess
per sources.
What's going on is he's, I think, just upset, Kashav, about this year in Infinity Ward in general, because he tweeted on his private
Kashav
account.
is the owner of Charlie Intel, for those of you listening.
He is, yeah. I think he fully tweets for them. I don't think anyone else ever tweets from the Charlie Intel account. It's Kashav. So he had tweeted something about like, what else should I leak? Like he knew he wasn't supposed to be doing this, but I think he's just like fed up and he's just throwing shit out there now. Yeah. So that's also why he didn't say like who it was from or anything. His partner is
corrupting him, man.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's possible.
So yeah, and more on this from Task Force Leaks, who was the first one to leak the placeholder image that we talked about, which is it's the map set in. I didn't think it looked like Amsterdam, but he said it is set in Amsterdam. He says Amsterdam, it looks like they've used. Yeah. It looks like they've used a lot of real life locations again, so he's wondering if we're going to have issues like we had with Infinity Ward, where they so there was it museum? Raceway. Yeah, so Crown Raceway was one of them. What was the
museum? Was the other one? Yeah,
museum. Wasn't there a third one that they had to change something with? The one that's like in a hotel. What the fuck Embassy. Is that map called?
Or not Embassy? No. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
God, I don't even play multiplayer anymore. I can't think of. No, I think they had to change like the name of that or something.
What is that? I know exactly what map you're talking about.
Breenberg Hotel. Breenberg Hotel.
Okay.
I thought something early on changed with that. Yeah,
almost certain because you're right.
Of yeah, like they had to they had to remove some stuff that was on the map in game, or maybe that was the one they took out for a short period of time, and it's like then the hotel did actually give them. Like they let them use it or something. Something weird happened with that. But anyways, that is like based in the Netherlands, I guess, or Amsterdam or some shit.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I don't know if that could be issues, but again, this is going to be a Resurgence map, and according to Charlie Intel, this will be larger than Ashika Island. So it'll go Al Mazrah, Vondel, and then Ashika Island. And he says it's coming out with Season 4, so in 2 weeks from today, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or 13 days from today, I guess we're getting that.
That is pretty wild, no doubt. I am curious what's going on with Keshav of Charlie Intel, if he's like not supposed to be leaking shit, but he is.
Yeah.
I wonder how long that'll last. But
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it is.
I wonder if Vondel means something in like Dutch. Does anyone know?
I don't know. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. I mean, Vondel.
It's Dutch they speak in the Netherlands, right? Mm-hmm. I think it is. Anyway, yeah, I always get...
I don't know. It doesn't look like it means anything.
Norway.
There's like a bunch of names, Dutch names that are like Vondel's their last name, so I don't know. And no, to answer your question, Ashika will not be gone. There will be 2 rotating maps. I think Charlie Intel actually said that in a reply to someone. Yeah, so Ashika will still be there, but we're also going to have a second Resurgence map, I guess.
So will this be like when Fortune's Keep existed? You could queue for either?
Who knows? Because the player base is definitely smaller now than it was back then. I don't know. I mean, the playlists are so weird. There's been no BR solos at all for like 3 weeks now. A bunch of people are complaining about that. In fact, the only BR mode you can play right now is, I think, quads. I don't know. We don't talk about the playlist updates anymore. But I think literally if you want to play normal Al Mazrah, you play ranked, which is trios, or you play quads, if I'm not mistaken. And that's it. There's no other option. And so everyone was like, how the fuck are we still doing this? Why does BR not just always have solos, duos, trios, quads? Just because. I don't know. But the player base maybe is that low with ranked out now and pubs Al Mazrah that it could be far less players than we're imagining.
Yeah, so keep that in mind when Vondel releases with Season 4. This is not technically confirmed officially as far as we know. But I would bet a lot of money that it's coming at some point in Season 4. Charlie Intel implies that it's coming on launch of Season 4. If that's true, we will hear about it in the roadmap and or blog post we get before the patch notes for Season 4.
We'll hear about it by next Thursday's pod for sure. They'll give some info on the new map if that's the case, yeah.
So we'll have more to say on this topic at that time. But as far as will I be able to still play Ashika Island, yeah, I'm very confident no, you won't. They're going to have Vondel, or Ashika Island every single week. That you're never going to be able to play Ashika and then the next match play Vondel. I don't think they're ever going to do that. If they do, it would be like Vondel trios only and then Ashika quads only. Because they've already massively limited playlist counts. And adding a new map to the mix is not going to change that. I don't think. So I am curious.
You're saying like in the same
that.
playlist, basically that won't happen. Like you won't just queue for Resurgence and get one of the random maps. Is that what you're saying?
I'm certain they won't do that.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think they'll do that.
I just mean like
I think they'll both be in
the week.
I think they'll both be in every week. It's probably just like Vondel will start with like all sizes, and then like when it drops, Ashika will have like only duos or something like that. It'll still be there, I would imagine. Trying to look for his reply because I thought he said something about that.
I don't think it's going to be all sizes when Vondel drops though, unless they just remove Ashika.
Well, it'll be more sizes at least than Ashika. Yeah, they'll have more of that.
Like 3 at most, because that's what they did with Ashika.
Yeah, that's how it'll work then. But yeah, like Ashika's not going away. No, you'll still be able to play it. It's not going to forever be gone or some shit.
Correct.
And then Task Force leaks images, which is a horrible name, but anyways, that's his Twitter account name.
And a terrible
POIs,
Twitter profile picture.
He listed the new POIs for Vondel: Aquarium, City Hall, Fire Station, some word I don't know, Nieuwe Stad Sport, I don't know, Old Museum, Floating House, University, New Museum, Police Station, Stadium, Cruise Terminal, and Train Station. And initial thoughts, this sounds fucking huge if there are POIs called like Stadium inside of it, and Train Station, and Cruise Terminal, and University.
Museums.
So I'm wondering, here's my black helicopters. Massive Resurgence has been very popular lately. I wonder if Vondel is going to be like a permanent Massive Resurgence mode, where instead of like 50 player lobbies, we're getting like 80, and it's a larger map with more players, but it's still just only going to be Resurgence. Maybe we'll see something like that. Because yeah, I mean, look at like what are the POI names on Ashika? Let's think about this. Did Ashika sound big?
And keep in mind, by the
Farms, towns, town, beach club, port, castle, residential. See, hearing the POI's name, it sounds a lot smaller, right?
Yeah, let me look up. Keep in mind, by the way, Charlie Intel did say as part of this leak that Vondel is bigger than Ashika Island, which is already a fairly big map if we're counting the water. But yeah, okay, farms, castle, shipwreck, port, beach club, town center. You know what else? There are fewer named POIs on Ashika, at least according to our screenshot, than there are listed here.
Yeah, there aren't many named POIs. Vondel. And I think, now that I think about it,
POIs. I have no doubt that it's bigger if it exists.
I think when Ashika was coming out, though, I'm pretty sure there were more names for POIs as well. Like, that were leaked. But then, maybe they just don't make it to release, or people just like actually have an image and kind of guess. I don't know how all that works. But yeah, so I think potentially this could be like a permanent Massive Resurgence type mode. So that could be interesting, I think, if that's the case. It'd be cool too, because then you actually
would be cool.
That would be really dope, because then you can play Resurgence, you can play Massive Resurgence, or you can play Battle Royale. I think that'd actually be perfect. So it won't be like that. Yeah, it'll just be 50 player.
It's a good idea, so probably Resurgence. Not. Yeah, when you first said that, I was like, eh. But you're right, that would be cool. Because I think that was one of the problems with Fortune's Keep and Rebirth Island, is that they were comparable in size and game mode. So really the only like differentiator was the map itself, which is obviously a huge difference, of course. But it would be cool if there was Resurgence, Massive Resurgence map only, and then just regular ass BR. I think that's a really good idea. I do hope they do that. especially if the map is big enough for it. You know, because keep in mind too, when Massive Resurgence was a playlist on Moz, it was really popular and people were having a lot of fun with it. And when the server wasn't dying,
it still is right now. It's been a playlist every week. Yeah.
And when the server isn't dying, I enjoy Massive Resurgence on Moz as well. So if there was a map that was smaller, but not too small, and it was just like permanent Massive Resurgence, that could be a lot of fucking fun, actually. So I'm very excited to see what we have in store with this map. Hopefully it does come out on the launch of Season 4. I would find it hard to believe if it was anyone other than Charlie Intel or Tom Henderson leaking it. But I trust both of them in terms of leaks a lot. So I suspect we will be getting it on launch. And by the way, that would be a great way to shoot some life into this game. Not that it exactly needs it with ranked, because ranked is and has stayed quite popular to their credit. But for all the Resurgence kids who are super mad that Rebirth Island went away forever, this can be good. And it can get a lot of people excited. I'm excited. And it might even bring some people back who signed off after Rebirth went away. I don't know about that, but maybe. It's drumming up some hype for sure, and that's cool. I'm very excited. We'll keep you guys posted. If this is happening, which I suspect, again, that it is, we will have a lot more to say about it next week, next Thursday. Because by then, we will either have a blog post on it, a roadmap on it, or it's not true. One of those three things. So
yeah. Moving on here. So the World Series of Warzone, the open qualifiers were a couple days ago. A bunch of people qualified. Or I don't think it was open. I don't know how it worked. It was some sort of other qualifiers for it. If you hadn't made it yet, it was a chance to qualify. So there was a private tournament for it. They still haven't announced yet where the grand final LAN tournament will be held, but it sounds like now it's going to be in London. So this is an article from Dexterto. World Series of Warzone Global Final will include a $600,000 prize pool between Trios Tournament and the Solo YOLO, which is $100,000 for the winner. Teams can earn a spot at the grand final through performances at the Stage 2 finals in their region or via the Last Chance qualifiers in July. One possible venue for this event, where it's to take place in London, could be the Copper Box Arena, which hosted the Call of Duty League event in 2020 and the Call of Duty World League event in 2019. So, yeah, I feel like this is a good location because all the Europeans get to it easily, and then NA flies over there. And it was really funny. It just goes to show you how dumb so many Americans are. There were pro kids that I saw on the TL unironically tweeting why the fuck are they doing this in the UK? Why are they not doing it in the United States? It's always people think we are the only country in the world that exists. Well, it's buddy, there's a whole EU region for the fucking World Series of Warzone. Why would you not want to travel? And then people were like, what if we don't have passports and shit like that? It's we'll figure it the fuck out. You can get them the day of now if you drive places and do it. And grow up and get a passport.
Because you have felony drug charges on your record. I don't know if they give those people passports.
That's a great point. But I thought that was so funny. I'm why? Dude, if I was a pro Warzone kid and it was either another fucking Vegas LAN, cool, or London, I'd be this is going to be dope. But these absolute dumb fucks, some of them, complain about something like this. Why would you not want to travel? I think it was somebody said something great, so we have to fly 14 hours to UK to then wake up the next day and play a tournament. Who said you had to fly the day before the fucking tournament, man? What are you talking about? And these people are dead serious. I'm grow up.
And also,
God damn,
if it was in the United States, then the UK people could say the exact same thing.
That's what other people were commenting. They're we're in the tournament too, right? So if it's in the US, we also just have to fly there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was so weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a weird thing to complain about. Especially for these streamers who have so much money. They can afford the fucking plane ticket and the time off.
Well, some of them. They're wager kids. They're not big streamers.
Yeah, I wonder, do they comp Activision wouldn't comp a flight, would they?
Actually,
Maybe they would.
Oh no, I think that was rumor. I think they did. Yeah, I think Activision did actually say that for the grand finals land, they will be paying for accommodations and shit like that.
That's smart. Yeah. Okay.
So maybe that's why the guy was like, great, we're going to fly the day before the tournament. Because if they're not booking the flights and Activision is doing it for him, then they don't really have a say. That could be the reason. Which that would be insane if they flew them in the day before the tournament. Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't want to put them up in a hotel for an extra day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, they only made $40 trillion this quarter. Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. So anyway, we'll keep you guys posted on that. But I mean, they have to host it somewhere.
It does have to be somewhere, yeah. I'm going to go pee. You can talk about your little topic here.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah. Next topic here, speaking of FaZe Clan, by the way, is all the fucking FaZe drama. I'm sure anyone on Twitter who is also a Call of Duty player has seen the controversy, the latest controversy surrounding FaZe Clan. By the way, I still own FaZe stock, that penny stock. I'm waiting for them to just shut the fuck up so that it at least goes back to like $1.50 so I can make 50%, because I bought like 250 shares at $1 and now it's worth like 10 cents or some fucking shit. But anyway, so the latest thing to have happened evidently was, and this is just based on me looking at the timeline. I didn't research this because I don't care enough, but FaZe recently had tweeted, oh, we're going to recruit another like woman to our team or whatever. And then some guy who is on FaZe Clan said that day that announcement was made, he said, oh, by the way, it's this Grace person who was an actress on like one episode of Stranger Things. Yeah. That's who they're going to be recruiting. And then sure enough, a couple days later, it was in fact the Grace person that the original character had said it would be. And then some people were mad that FaZe tweeted, we are thinking of recruiting a woman, even though they already knew who they were going to recruit, because that implied to the people who saw the tweet that maybe they could, as a woman, put out a really good clip or video and it would attract enough attention from FaZe to actually get them recruited. It implied, in other words, that there was an opening for a woman, when in reality, the opening was already filled.
They're doing it for clicks.
As soon as they made the tweet. And they really only did it to impression farm, knowing they were going to recruit who they were going to recruit. That, any shady business practice an organization or company can partake in, FaZe has done and will do. So I completely believe that is in fact exactly what happened. Yes, that FaZe only tweeted it just to get people to like tweet FaZe up and give them more traction on social media in a vain attempt to boost their stock price. Please God, work harder. Even though they knew they already had the slot filled. I have no doubt that that's true. But anyways, that's not the big story. The big story is, after this Grace character was picked up, a lot of people were very upset at FaZe Clan and at the character, Grace. Her name is Grace, right?
Grace Van Lewin or something, yeah.
Some shit like that. Oh, I'm going to keep calling her Grace because I don't know her full name.
Yeah, it's Grace.
Some people were mad at FaZe for picking her up. Some people were mad at the girl herself for being picked up, I guess, because she's not like a gamer enough for FaZe Clan. She like, and I have no idea. I suspect
she is a gamer and a streamer, though. I think she's a Valorant streamer.
Okay. So she like plays video games. She's not fucking, FaZe Neo. That's not why she got picked up. She got picked up because I guess she's like an attractive young woman with some fame. Now, is that her fault at all? Of course not. If she doesn't deserve to be on FaZe Clan by your estimation, take it up with FaZe Clan. you could argue that there are more deserving women to be in the organization than her, and I would concede that point. There probably are. There certainly are. There are women who are, you know, talented, interesting streamers who are really fucking good, and they've been, I don't know, watching 12-year-old FaZe montages of 360 no scopes off of high rise for the last 10 years, who maybe should have been picked up instead. That's not fucking Grace's fault, though, obviously. So all the people that are like shitting on her was kind of insane, obviously, because what is she supposed to do? Not take the spot because other people want it more? They're not going to pick the other people up anyway. It's not like she is filling a spot that would otherwise be vacant if she declined. They would just pick up some other fucking celebrity that they could get, probably. FaZe has been doing this, by the way, for years now. Didn't they pick up LeBron James' son?
Yes. There was also something with Snoop Dogg, wasn't there?
Snoop Dogg as well? Yeah. Yeah. And people weren't very mad when
Bronny,
they picked up
what is his name?
Yeah, Bronny. People weren't very mad when they picked up Snoop Dogg, by the way. I wonder why that is. Because there is some very weird undercurrents of misogyny in gaming still. And I'm not a fucking SJW. You guys probably know that if you've been listening for a while. I'm not into the whole cringe virtue signaling dog shit. But when something's true, it's true, and I'm going to say it. There's absolutely a very deep undercurrent of misogyny. And part of the reason, a lot of the reason she's getting hate is because she's like a pretty girl, actually. And people are mad just for that reason, because they're seething that like girls can be successful in like gaming or something. But then part of it is, again, somewhat warranted. She's not like gamer enough, and there are more deserving women. Sure, I grant all that. Anyway, not her fault. That still not the biggest drama. So this week, a lot of the original FaZe members were talking about this or whatever, and they're mad that the FaZe like CEOs or whatever are ruining the company or some shit. I don't really understand exactly what's going on there.
Well, they like sold the company to them, and then they complain as to how they're changing it. It's like, what do you expect when you sell your fucking company?
And then they always say like, oh, I haven't sold any stock, but you guys were the only people in control of the company. So at some point you gave some control to people you now hate. It is your fault ultimately. I don't know how it happened. I don't know when. I don't know what you did, but no one held a gun to your head and made you go public, for example. So anyways, I guess this FaZe Rain guy, in talking about this, started talking a lot of shit. I think he was the first mover in the drama, where he made a video, I guess, and he was like, oh, by the way, I wouldn't touch Grace with like a 10-foot pole on my drunkest night or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, she's mid, I wouldn't touch her on my drunkest night, blah, blah.
Which is very weird for two reasons. Number one, she's an attractive person. I mean, why are you
more
just
attractive
lying?
than he is? That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It really bothers me when people are like mid on like obviously hot girls. Yeah. It's like, shut up, dude. Like, we all know you're lying. Like, you're just saying this because you're mad. It's such a stupid insult because no one believes you. But it's the bigger problem, of course, is that like, why are you attacking this innocent girl just because she decided to join the clan or whatever, the org? Not her. Again, it's not her fault. It's no reason to insult her for being unattractive. Very fucking weird. Now, I think this was the first mover. I think this was a fairly unprovoked attack from him. There might have been other things maybe before this. If so, I haven't heard of them. That was the first.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That was the first big thing I heard about. And then Grace, I guess, made a video in response and was like, this was FaZe Rain that was saying all this, by the way. So then Grace made a response. She was like, yeah, I don't know what that was one of the criticisms, was he said she doesn't even know what a trick shot is. And then she replied in a video and she was like, yeah, I may not know what a trick shot is, but I can see you like struggled with drug addiction. Like, I'm not the one who overdosed on a live stream.
Yeah.
And then she said it and like smirks in the video. And then she's like, and I really like understand because my mom's a drug addict also. So she like says all these words, like points out that he had an overdose on a live stream. I didn't know that. That's hilarious, by the way. And then tried to pretend that she understands the struggles of drug addiction or whatever, which maybe she does, but she's trying to play off that she brought up the overdosing just to be sympathetic when she was fucking smiling while she said it in the video. So, in other words, not a great play either. Now, what's worse? Well, the unprovoked attack is worse, obviously. So if FaZe Rain did in fact say she doesn't even know what a trick shot is and she's mid and she like didn't start it, then he's more in the wrong here than the girl. But also the girl it just annoyed me. I don't remember exactly what she said, but I did watch the Twitter clip. She brings up that he overdosed and then she tries to play it off like she brought it up to like be empathetic or whatever, but she's like fucking smiling while she said it. And it's like, hey, if you want to insult him for having an overdose on stream, I'm 100% behind you. That's funny. Especially if he's going to talk shit about you for no reason. That's the first thing I would say too. I'd be like, hey, go fucking parachute some more Vicodin, you drug addict fuck or whatever. I don't know. But I wouldn't pretend like I'm trying to be nice when I did it. I would say it with my chest. I'd be like, yeah, you're a drug addict fucking loser. Go steal some more pills or Oxycontin or whatever. So the only thing that really annoyed me about her response was trying to play it off like that's not what she was doing, which she was doing. And that's fine. And the response on Twitter, by the way, to all of this is fucking insane. There are people that are more mad at her than him.
Oh, not people. It is like everyone. And like you're saying, it's because the Twitter gaming community is a bunch of people that grew up loving FaZe Rain for some reason. So they're all on his side. Yeah. And I think the thing that's funny is he said so many times throughout this, it's nothing personal to Grace. I have no issues with her. He's saying that before and after he released that video where he's like, I wouldn't touch you on my drunkest night. You're fucking mid and this and that.
That's literally by definition personal, yeah.
And so then when she responded about the drug addiction thing, which I had a great chuckle. I thought that was hilarious personally. When she responded with that drug addiction thing to Rain, everyone on Twitter was like, wow, it's so crazy she would stoop to like Rain's like almost death just because he said she didn't know what a trick shot was. And it's like, no, she's saying it because he said the shit about like, you're mid, I wouldn't touch you on my most drunken night. Coming from some dude, by the way, who like a year and a half ago was in a wheelchair because he had like chemical what is it called?
Neuropathy?
Chemical neuropathy.
Huh.
Because of his drug addiction.
Jesus
He's
Christ.
talking shit. Yeah. He was in a wheelchair for like a year. He couldn't use his legs. He could barely use his arms because of his drug addiction. So it's like, why are you even talking shit, you fucking weirdo? But anyways, yeah, he was sustained drug abuse following his parents' separation, and he was stressed and depressed and even tried to commit suicide through an overdose of Advil. And I saw on Twitter something like,
that's a painful way
he
to
tried
go.
to pop like he popped like 200 Advil or something.
What?
Something absurd. I'd seen something about that. I don't know how true that was.
He obviously got his stomach pumped if he lived through that.
Yeah,
Holy
so anyways,
shit.
like maybe don't be talking shit when you're like a fucking scummy drug addict. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways,
and by the way,
I think it is wild to see that like the support is like 95% for FaZe Rain and like 5% for her. And it literally is, as much as people don't want to admit it, because she's a girl. If she was some guy that joined a FaZe clan, it would be like, why the fuck did this guy get into FaZe? And that'd be the end of it. But because it's some girl and she responded, people are fucking bagging on her for it.
Yeah. And I'll also add, it is one thing to insult someone for being like a drug addict or something, and we can argue about whether it's a disease or not. I think it's
not a disease.
It's not a disease in the same way that I have ulcerative colitis. I simply exist and I have the disease now. There was no agency whatsoever. What degree of agency there is for alcoholism or drug addiction, and what degree to which it's like genetic, there are obviously predispositions, but these are not the same levels. They're not diseases in the same way, if drug addiction's a disease at all, first of all. So don't say like, it's not it. In other words, people on Twitter are pretending she insulted him for having cerebral palsy, which he doesn't have. Like, it's not like it's just something like, oh, you were born paraplegic and I'm making fun of you for it. That would be way worse than like making fun of someone for being a drug addict.
100%. I'd be like, this chick's being a bitch. Even if it is a disease,
then it's not a disease in the same way that most diseases are, first of all. And second of all, even if we did say it's 100% a disease, just like cerebral palsy, then it's different to make fun of someone for having the disease and for overdosing on a live stream. That's funny. It's funnier that you did it on stream. Sorry. Hey, maybe you have a disease where you, I don't know, whatever, but
just can't stop taking drugs.
Don't do it on stream, though. Even if you are a drug addict, don't overdose on stream. That at least is within your control. Turn off the stream before you go parachute fucking Oxycontins. That is absolutely. So anyways, I don't know. It's absolutely not as big of a deal on people on Twitter are making it sound, though. And the virtue signaling is nauseating, where they're like, I can't believe it.
Like, I was even shocked
for being diseased.
Yeah, like usually girls in the gaming in the gaming scene side with other girls typically, but every girl I saw too was like, this is disgusting that she would call out his drug addiction. It's like, shut the fuck up. It pisses me off when people call it a disease. Like, you put yourself in that situation. That's not a disease. Kill yourself in game. I mean, it's it's fucking ridiculous. I have zero sympathy for FaZe Rain, but anyways.
And those views do not necessarily represent the opinions of the Dropshot Incorporated LLC. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just very, like you said, I'm very surprised at at where the popular support is leaning on this. It's very weird. Yeah. It's very weird that he just gets to unprovoked insult a young woman's appearance online in the gaming world.
Though. I have nothing against her.
And get away with it. When's the last time that happened? Like, that never happens anymore in 2023.
Yeah, that's why I was shocked that all the girls were siding with him still. Yeah, it's like, really?
Super weird. Super surprising. But he started it. And, what he said was arguably worse, by the way. You can't change your appearance.
Here's the thing I think you should expect with most females. If you're going to talk shit to them, expect to get it back harder. And that's what she did, and good for her.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them are that way, and that's great for her. I'm glad she said it.
Yeah. By the way, wasn't FaZe Rain... I know FaZe Clan has done numerous crypto rug pulls.
Yeah, I'm sure he's been involved in a lot of that, yeah.
Is he also one of these people that's done an NFT rug pull? I have no idea.
Probably. I don't really know either.
If he has, then I'm even more on her side, yeah. However, let's also add that what a colossal mistake it was for her to say anything at all. Because before she made that video, everyone was in her corner. All she needed to do was just not say a goddamn word about it, and everyone would have been on her side. It was funny that she replied, I support it, but it was dumb. There was no upside. There was no upside and nothing to be gained, and she shouldn't have done it. It was a mistake. So, oops. I mean, be smarter, but, in terms of who's right or wrong here, yeah, insulting her unprovoked is the wrong move.
I forgot about this one. So do you remember, I guess it's been 8 years now. Those CSGO gambling sites, those scams people running, T-Martin was involved in one of them, and everyone's forgotten about him. So FaZe Rain and FaZe Banks owned one of those CSGO gambling sites. And so they would stream themselves gambling and like winning shit for real life money and making real life money. And they never once said that they had any part in ownership in that company, which they did, which is illegal.
Yeah.
And also those sites did nothing to prevent kids under the age of 18 gambling and losing money. So yeah, he was involved in that. So I mean, just all around, he's a big, massive piece of shit. He always has been. And again, as I've been saying for years, FaZe Clan is the clan of drug addiction. Yeah, they're all scumbags and fuck all of them.
Degeneracy. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway.
And then moving on, we're done with that. To the last exciting topic, real quick. There was a lovely Bobby Kotick interview with Variety.com. It's titled "Activision Blizzard CEO Addresses Toxic Workforce Claims." It is like a very long article. Here's the TLDR. They were like, hey, we heard there's like a frat boy culture and women are getting groped and I mean, basically raped in your studios. What do you have to say to that? And basically what he says was, nah, none of that's true. It's no worse than any other corporation. It's fine. And we have proof that's going to be coming out that says otherwise. And that's basically a TLDR.
Interesting. Yeah. So there's a huge article here on Variety.com if you guys want to go check it out yourself. A beautiful picture of Bobby Kotick.
Beautiful Bobby, yeah.
I wonder if that's his passport pic that he used when he got on Jeffrey Epstein's private plane to Little St. James.
I don't think they would let his hands there. So he probably took a different passport image to get a passport to go to Little St. James Island. Yeah, allegedly. It says he makes no apologies for Activision or its culture. He says the company is preparing to release a slew of data drawn from the EEOC investigation that he hopes will combat the perception that Activision was run as a frat house. Blah, blah. He said, for a company of 17,000 employees worldwide, Kotick asserts Activision has a relatively low level of harassment and assault complaints. So he says he'll release a transparency report that will provide blah, blah, data from outside entities, blah, blah. Yeah. And he says it's left a stain. The allegations have left a stain on Activision. Yeah. And yeah, we did not have a systematic issue with harassment ever. We didn't have any of what we were mischaracterizations reported from the media. Blah, blah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a really long article. But anyways, he just says we didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, so this, yeah, I mean, obviously the CEO, when he's talking about this, is going to say, what else would he possibly say? Like, of course he's going to say, like, oh, no, this is all overblown or whatever. I will add, though, I pretty much believe him. Like, 17,000 employees is a fuck ton. There's going to be some harassment in a company that big, no matter how impeccable or sterling of a reputation your company has. 17,000 people is a lot of people, and that's in a lot of different locations around the world. And the CEO can't be in every fucking cubicle in the company at all times. So like, yeah, you know, there was probably some harassment going on. I wouldn't be surprised if it was about as much as sadly, as you could expect for a company of that size. And I also believe, by the way, it was not a systemic issue as he says here. Like, he's like, oh, it wasn't like a systemic thing throughout the company. I believe that because if it were, that would have come out by now, like far sooner than this, actually. It was probably, you know, one or two like offices or whatever that had someone pretty high up that was in on the shenanigans. And that's bad, obviously. But that doesn't mean that, you know, the entire company was like ruined or whatever.
Yeah, and I think when that report came out, they had even said that there were a couple higher level guys that when it was brought to their attention, I think they were fired and let go because there was like proof and other people were like, oh yeah, this guy's a piece of shit. And they did fire some of those. Yeah, you're right. But I mean, just that's also a good point. I mean, you're right. All of these big companies with that many employees, you're going to have a shitload of issues probably. But it's like, look at the people that work in gaming and like Activision. They're all like so similar. I really do doubt, like you're saying, that it's that much worse than it is at any other big company. In fact, it's probably safer working at Activision than like any fucking like tech bro type company that exists now where they really do hate women and that, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot more common.
Like imagine like a like a finance, like a firm or something where there's like no women.
Oh, they despise women there. Yeah.
And then when one walks in, it's probably like a lot scarier. Yeah, potentially. Yeah. As much as I fucking can't stand Activision, I don't think they have some kind of fucking secret campaign of like rape. I shouldn't have said that. Fuck. YouTube doesn't like that word. I don't see that being true. But yeah, I don't know. We'll keep you guys posted on this, of course. And for the record, in case this isn't obvious, if there are more bad actors at Activision who have not yet been fired and punished to the fullest extent of the law, I hope they are punished and fired to the full extent of the law. Obviously, we're not pro harassment here or anything. I'm just saying, the people who love to shit on Activision for each and everything they do, they're undermining their own movement when they make false claims. This is a problem with especially now, movement online, is that they hate some group of people, whether it be a company like Activision or the fucking Democratic Party or trans people or whatever. And they hate these, whatever, in this case, they hate this company because of shady business practices. But because they hate them for that reason, they're just going to make shit up about anything else and see what sticks. You're undermining your own movement there. Because if you're lying about one thing, then they're not going to trust you on the other thing that you're not lying about when you criticize them. So let's keep our criticisms grounded in reality. Activision is a dog shit company. And it's not necessarily, probably not, because they have a harassment campaign in their offices. It's probably because they release pay-to-win DMZ skins and they lie to their consumers about the existence of skill-based matchmaking and other things of this type. So, anyway. All right. Oh, and because they lie that they have QA teams. That's arguably their biggest. That's my biggest complaint.
Yeah,
and we should sue them for that. So anyway, fuck FaZe, fuck Bobby Kotick, fuck Activision, and if you're a dev, get off Twitter. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We will be back on Saturday for a little Q&A type beat. Reminder, if you want more content, now is the best time to join our Patreon, patreon.com/thedropshot. Free trials, 7-day free trial available for gold and platinum. You can check us out for a full ass week and decide whether or not you want to stay on board. That will only be for the month of June. So if you want to check out the Patreon free of charge, do it this month. It will be going away afterward. And I would venture to say our bonus content is very great and very much worth it. In addition to that, by the way, patrons also get all public episodes, ad-free, and early access. And for the higher tiers, there's other little bonus goodies as well. So you can check out the website, patreon.com/thedropshot. Best way to support the show. A lot of good shit there and free trials for the month of June. Stay humble.
Shout out to the gays. Happy Pride Month. We love the Dropshot gays. Resident gay GC burgers. We probably have more, but shout out to the gays. Love you guys.
Doesn't
Stay
like
humble.
It when we call him gay, even though he is.
Yeah.
So anyway,
stay humble.
Stay humble.